connect with like-minded AHK users in our private chat, helping each other out and sparking ideas that make scripting way more fun. Watch real users tackle AHK challenges and share victories. It's motivating and shows the practical power of our group. Let me share my screen real quick and show, I was talking to Irfan earlier, and I said, hey, what's annoying? And it was because yesterday, after our calls, I did two things. I ran our payroll stuff to pay the guys, and I invoiced our clients. And both of those things have scripts that I launch, but when I launch them, I have to remember to go close them. But they're usually something I have open for like 5 minutes or something. So I was telling Irfan, what I'd like to have is something that's a simple script that I can put in my other scripts that would remind me, and I made this down to 6 seconds instead of a minute. So it will, when it's running, when I kick off a script, it would run, and then it would put up a notification reminding me the script's running, right? And then if I want to click it, that will actually exit the script that it's in. So I did this really quickly, but I was talking to Irfan about it of course, I don't want to add all of this to each of my scripts, right?
Right.
So here's the part I was talking to Irfan about, and then Mazias, if you want, I'll give you this code, or maybe Irfan will, since he's more of the person on Notify. I was telling Irfan, I know because we are the builders of Notify, we could add this to the notification class itself and have it as another function or a method to do this behavior, right? Alternatively, this is where it's a really good lesson also to say, let's say we weren't the people creating the Notify class. This is where, correct me if I'm wrong, like I would extend the class. Like
For example,
I would
yes.
add new functionality
100%.
that I want, but the main developer that creates it that might give me a new version of Notify didn't add. And that's when you that's one way why you go extend things.
The funny thing there is, let's say that you, Joe, decide to extend the notify class, but later on, Irfan updated the class, and now you have to update your class. When you update your class, you still have your stuff because you're not
Right.
depending on the class. You're extending the existing class. It doesn't matter how that class changes unless the change actually conflicts with what you're doing, right? But and even though, even if it conflicts with what you're doing, it doesn't matter because let's say that you have a function that says close other tool, right? And that Irfan decides to update his class to have a function that is named the same.
Mhm.
Your extension overrides the one that he has.
Oh, interesting.
Always. So basically, it doesn't matter that he has the same function name.
Yeah.
Yours is always going to take precedence and
Yep.
it's going to make it so that your code is always working. So it's great to extend a class and keep it up to date without breaking your code always. That's why I like that approach. I don't know how easy it is to do that with functional programming, but I would assume so. I create a function that calls another function. So if I update the main function, my function is just calling it. It's the same thing, right? So whether you want to do it with classes or whether you want to do it with functions, the idea is the same. Don't use the default function name, just extend it in the sense of create a function that calls that function so that later if that function changes, you're just calling it. You're not actually using it directly in your code, right?
Yeah.
So great little tidbit there. And I think we don't talk enough about those things. I think I told you, Joe, that I had like an idea of explaining because explaining how classes derive from each other, we don't really talk about that much, right? And recently with one of the clients, he's dealing with a very specific topic that I said, this is a very interesting way of defining a class, right? Like explaining a class. So maybe if nobody has any other questions, maybe we can take a 5 minutes because it's not like a long explanation. It's just like a real life example, but that I'm going to be using soon, right? So it would explain really well how classes really behave. But let's see if anybody has questions, anything that you're working with, and that because that's the main point of this.
I was thinking like Irfan could actually add that what I had to the notify class as a, again, unless someone has something to work on. And then, or of course, like you said, if people have their own stuff, that's great.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I told these guys, I think it was after a call on Saturday last week, and it was when Irfan was sharing a screen, his code, and Isaiah was giving him feedback on it. And I said, you know, I realized over the last couple of years how much Irfan has grown, right, as a programmer.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is because he will share stuff and then Isaiah gives him feedback on it. And it's so much easier to learn when it's your own stuff and your own examples. And it's easier to digest and to adapt and borrow. And this is what I wanted to remind you guys, like that was initially what we had planned the hero call to be. You guys come here and either we help you solve a problem or give us some of your code. And you got to be brave, right? Like, and Isaiah is gentle on it too, right? It's more of a here's how I would have solved it. But I really think you guys are missing out on leveling up yourself by giving us something you've already done and just say, hey, how would you solve this? Right? It's
Joe,
just
Yeah.
food for
Joe,
thought.
this is effectively for I think 80% the reason why I am in
That's,
because
yeah,
of because I learn a lot of AutoHotkey
yeah,
just looking to what you are doing on the screen.
yeah. Well, not me, but yeah. But Nick, and that's so it's one of the things also, and you're so advanced too, right? Like that's what I love is that you've been around a lot, you know a lot, but you also know you don't know everything, right?
Oh, I know. I once I had a teacher on my middle school, and he was about 50 years old. And every holiday he went to England. And then he told once that what he knew about English was about 1%. And 99% he didn't know about English. And
Yeah,
that's the fact, the same
yeah,
what you were saying.
yeah, yeah. And I haven't done it recently, but part of it's because of COVID. But I guess I could do it virtually. My friend Gabe and we used to call them codecations, right? Every year we would take off. I'd take off like a week and a half, but we'd have like at least 5 days of getting together, working 10 to 15 hours a day, sitting in front of computers, learning a topic together, right? And it was our vacation, from work, but we were really focusing on improving ourselves, right? Um, and I can't tell you how much I leveled up when I did that kind of stuff. It was insane how much I grew. I wish though Isaiah had been around at the time. Actually, the last couple, Maestrith was working with us at the time, and he would join us a little bit and give us points in the right direction, which really helped because we were just talking to each other trying to figure it out. We didn't have an expert, right?
Well, in fact, I admire Isaiah's for two reasons. First reason is what he knows. He knows quite a lot, and also the way he is expressing it. He is using it and demonstrating it. It's marvelous.
No, he's a natural teacher. I 100%
Yes,
agree.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you very much. So I do think, and I totally agree with Joe. And again, just to drive the point home, the main idea that we had when we created this is that people will come with a project that they're working on, they need help with. And when we give them pointers, it helps them way more than if I just sit here and talk about one subject that you have never seen, right? So if you're working with something, even if you don't need help, just showing your code and we commenting on it or just talking about how we would do it differently would help you a lot, because especially you that you wrote the code, because when I explain it, you understand what you are trying to do and how what I'm teaching you applies in this situation. So if we keep opening the invitation, we always do. Not everybody does it very often, but when they do, we always get the feedback. Oh, that was a great call. That was a great call. Yes, that's the point. That's what we were trying to do. But anyways, like, yeah, I hope that people get a little bit more involved, because that's the idea here. Is just for you to see your own code in a different way and probably help you learn something different that you might not have heard before, right?
Sheriff, and you want to work on incorporating that? Are you here?
Yes,
There
sure.
you
I was mute. I was looking for mute button.
You could make the
So
hot for that, you know.
sure. Uh,
Did you
I would
see it?
like to know where is the snippet
Sent-
you
Yeah, I sent it a long time ago in Telegram.
okay, let me see. Okay.
Maybe your Telegram's slow.
No, it wasn't. I just switched to your chat and then I got it. Okay, let me share my screen.
But again, just to remind you, this to me, it was very funny that like I've been working with AutoHotkey for I don't know 15 years. This idea of having something in my script to remind me it's running and to close, I've never thought of. Like, why haven't I thought of that? Because it's annoying. I will constantly have scripts in my system tray and go like, oh crap, I forgot to close that. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I find it hilarious that you can do something for so long and not all of a sudden you go, this. Why didn't I think of this 10 years ago? We should probably have
So
an option to play a sound too, Irfan. Um,
okay. So we want to incorporate this function into our library. So I would just need to move these two inside and then copy whole thing.
and correct me if I'm wrong. What you just did right there, you couldn't do that in V1. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is not doable in V1. So you're right.
Sorry, let me see if I understand. What is not doable? Like,
A function
Yeah.
inside a function.
all right, yes. So, and by the way, I think
I'm going to create this as a method in my class. So
okay, I see. I understand what you mean. Yes, yes.
yeah.
So
that's why I'm doing
closures are not valid code in V1. That's correct. And actually, Nick had a very good insight about what closures really are, and he gave me some very interesting examples. At some point, we can talk a little bit onto that, but I think that happens. It would be better on a Friday call, which is a little bit more technical, right? But what he just did right there of creating the exit script function inside the show script reminder, if you want to learn more about what those are and why to do that, that's what closures are. So you can search online for them and get to know them a little bit better, and they're great. So he
Okay.
just created everything inside. You just created a method name and just put everything in there, right?
Yes. And I would just
That's it.
cut it and create a method in my class.
Yeah.
So I would just go at the end,
You can press a hotkey for that. It goes
control
to
end,
the
I think.
no.
But it will go
For
to the
going
end
to
of
the exactly. I'm talking about going to the next bracket. So go to the
Okay.
first one and then you can just hit F1 and search for bracket, and you will see what the hotkey is if you have one.
So
F1
F1.
bracket. Look for the word bracket. And there's go to bracket, and there's a hotkey there. Control Shift, in your case, is backslash. If you
Mhm.
press that, it goes to the end to the other bracket, and if you do it again, it goes to the top again. So you
Okay,
can
I
go
will
back and forth
incorporate
between the
that
two. Yeah.
into our ASM.
And then there is like I have another hotkey that selects everything within the two brackets. So if I want to remove or move something in that, I just go to the bracket, do the hotkey, and it selects just what is in that bracket and that section. And you can do that for parentheses or square brackets. It's really useful, really. Don't you have to make it static?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have been calling all of them as static things, right?
Yeah. So I would make it 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, I would have a notification.
Hold on, sorry, is that in seconds or in minutes? Sorry, in milliseconds.
Yeah, it is in milliseconds. So should I make it in seconds?
No.
Yes, multiply it by 1,000.
Well,
Okay.
in
Oh,
minutes.
well, in minutes, you have to
Yeah.
actually multiply by 1,000. No, just keep it like that. Just that same number that you have right there.
No,
Sorry, you
Yeah.
actually had it almost there.
I think like
So,
this.
but why are you multiplied by 100 there? It is
I
by
think I have
1,000.
to multiply by 1,000.
No, but you had it correctly. Go back to what you had. The only difference there is not by 100, it's by 1,000. There,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
that's it.
There.
So there, if I give you 5, you
It-
will multiply 5 by 60, which is minutes, and then that you multiply by 1,000, which is milliseconds.
I said I changed mine to seconds, so it was very quick to show. But that's why it was multiplying it by 100, not 1,000.
Oh, okay. Ah, I see.
Okay, so let me make it
Hold
this
on.
so we can check it. We
No,
are
no.
just checking it right now.
Oh, okay, you're just testing. Sorry, I understand now.
Or I can do in points, I think.
You can put
So-
0.1.
Yeah,
You can say.
0.1.
Yeah, but you have to go back to the 1,000 then.
Yeah, I said it.
Ah, okay, okay, I didn't see it. Sorry, my
So
internet.
when I run,
And what would it do? So if you don't have, oh, there it goes.
yeah, if I click it, it will gonna close. So yeah, you see it closed. So we need a ding. So gen audio. No. Gen I forget the name.
Sound? Is it sound?
Yeah, gen sound. Okay. Gen sound, and then we would try ding. And when I launch that, yeah, it is a little sound I heard. And I also like to have a timeout in here because the next thing should be my timeout. Notification close.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to move it here. And okay, that was inside this one. But I can move both of them, all 3 of them out. No, these 2 are just fine. And it's for some people it will be complicated to understand why I'm moving this out. And
Go through your thought process of how you're making decisions.
yeah, that's my thought process, but Azayas would explain it simple.
No, but you got to explain the why. Why
Okay.
would you put it out?
So because if I put that inside here, so I have to pass another parameter to this, but it is a separate function. So I do not have to use it inside it. So I move it out. So what I did previously, I moved function inside function and create outside this other function. So now I have a freedom to move things in and out. So there were 3 layers and now it is just 2 layers. The first layer is this and the second layer is this. So in second layer I have 2 functions, but previously this was inside there. Okay, so I can say timeout equal to 3 timeout seconds. So 3 seconds. Okay. So timeout equals to timeout seconds. multiply by minus 1,000 and minus 1,000. And I would put it here.
You misspelled that.
Oh, okay. I misspelled. I do that a lot. Okay, so I can put a longer duration here, 5 seconds. So one is minute, another is second, and that is weird. Okay, so
Why do you have to click on the thing to close the program? Wouldn't you just close the program?
I don't want to have to go to the system tray, right click and hit close or exit.
No. That's what I'm saying. And why would you want to click this notification anyways? What I'm saying is it should notify you that it's gonna close it. And
Because I may not want to close it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just a reminder, like, oh, maybe I still want it open, right? But I want a convenient way to close it.
Right.
If I'm done. Yeah. This is
did you make that negative? So multiply by 1,000 and do the negative down there in the timeout in the set timer. I think, can you do that? I don't think you can. Try it. Because the problem is that this is being called every 3 seconds because you multiply the number by a negative number. So
okay.
it should just go once. No, it is actually doing it every time. Maybe multiply 1 by minus timeout. The number should be negative in the end.
no.
The timeout for the timer, yes, because he wants it only once.
Okay, for the timeout.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, for the timeout. Because the thing is that now it's displaying the thing over and over again, but I don't think that's what he wants. Just place a stop at 3:58 and look at timeout and see if it is negative. Well, you have to reload it now. Timeout should be negative. It is. So that's not what is happening. The reminder in minutes is happening over and over because the reminder is a positive number. The reminder in minutes must be negative as well.
Well, I want the reminder to happen every X minutes.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. The timeout, the closing the notification should be once.
Yes.
Maybe this one is greater than this one, I think.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
6,000.
For now, because this one is too big. But if you do the minutes.
But I can call this line before showing, so it will just close the last.
That's true. Why are you calling that and not the function that you created for calling that?
And this might cause some error.
No, the close last notification is the function that you created around it. So
okay.
Oh, it is exiting right away. Why is that?
This I have to run this one.
Ah, okay.
So now I can adjust my timeouts and
Yeah, that now just closes the previous one.
But it should have a parameter also that if you give it ding, then it would play the audio file. But if I don't, it doesn't ding.
Let me tell you how I would think about this one. I would show the notification and set a variable, or I don't know, whenever you show a notification, you do have it in an array, right? So then if I have already shown it, do you want to show it again? I don't think so. So basically, you see the show script reminder, that show right there in the close last, it should be inside an if statement.
Actually, show function creates a new notification. It is not checking first that notification. So
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like what I would do is line 364 should be an if statement. If I don't have any notifications shown that have to do with this, then
I can have multiple type of the notifications with the multiple kind of tags. So I don't know which notification is for what. So
then that means that you should have an ID somewhere. So whenever you show a notification, you should assign it an ID. And the notify show class should return that ID number so that later on we can check on it and say, if this ID exists in my map or list, then don't show it again because I already have it. Would you allow me just 1 second? Can I have control for a minute? Oh,
sure. I think we can have that ID easily.
Yeah, but let me show you what I mean. Like here, you don't need the close because it's going to show once. Static ID equals 0. So it's going to be 0 at this point. If ID, so if I have an ID, if I don't have an ID, I want to create one. And this should return an ID, whatever you want. Whenever you create a show, it should return an ID number that should be actually saved in the notify class in some sort of map or list, however you prefer. And now I just want to keep track of it. And if I got one, I don't want to show it again because I know that it's being shown. Later on, when I close the thing, this notification, that ID should be removed from the list of IDs. And I could probably say, I don't even need a static here. It would be if notify and then
dot has
IDs, right? Has this guy. So we have to create, I don't know if you have something where you keep track of the notifications, but you should have.
I think each notify is a GUI. We can use their HWND easily.
Right. And now when you do close last should remove that ID from the list. Okay. So
yeah,
close last should
always remove the.
Okay. Should remove from notify.ids. And then this should return an ID in case I need it for something else. That sounds like a plan. I think this is great. And that allows you to make it so that if the ID is being shown, you don't show it again and you don't ding every single time, because I wouldn't want every 5 minutes ding and then again ding and then again. Maybe I have the notification, it's open there and it stays there until I click on it, or unless, Joe, you want to work in a different way. But I think this would be a little bit more or
no, I had it exactly the way I wanted it, where it pops up for 3 seconds to let me know it's there and disappears, and then reminds me again after a couple minutes.
Okay, so the ding is going to show over and over again, right?
Well, as I said, the ding should be an option, because I may or may not want it to ding.
Yeah. Okay, so this should be an option that you can say sound false, right, or true.
Sorry.
Right. So then you would say true here.
Yeah.
Then if
much better.
There'll be sound.
We can do ternary here.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Isaiah, thank you for helping me with my problem.
There you go.
I have one, and you have solved it.
Actually, that's why I didn't interrupt you earlier. I liked the concept of what you were talking about, Isaiah, with assigning an ID. Right. And the close last actually we wouldn't have close last. We would have close and give it the ID, right? Instead of close,
right.
Which would
but another way of doing this, you see this reminder in minutes? You could have something like repeat equals false or true. And you can, oh God, what is going on? Are you pressing keys on your keyboard?
No.
Oh, so my internet is behaving weird. So we could have this stop reminder thing, if it is repeatable, it would be, we just have to, if it is
Multiply it
not
-1.
repeat, so if it is not repeat, then I would make it negative. And if it is in repeat, we don't want it. So basically, you can decide whether the notification is once or many times by just setting the repeat
we
false
cannot
or
use
not.
a string, I think.
I think you can.
Oh,
100%. Remember that AutoHotkey? What it does is this whole thing, it would make the reminder quite, okay, sorry. I want to run this part. It should give you a negative number right there. Right? So
okay.
it does.
That's something.
And now the set timer is going to convert that into a number. It doesn't really matter. You can create a string, give it to set timer as a string, and set timer will know that that is supposed to be a number, and it will convert it into a number. So it's going to work just fine. That's one of the reasons why scripting languages are so easy to do, is that you can convert one type to another without even thinking about it. In other languages, you definitely cannot do that. Like if you have a string, you cannot pass it to a function that is expecting a number just like that. You have to do something called casting to get that working. But in our case, in AutoHotkey, no, you just get a string that has a negative number in it or not. And then the set timer is going to do its thing and know that it is a one-time thing or not one-time thing. So we just put that as a parameter in the function. And then I would say, like, for example, I would hate having something repeat. I don't know why I have that repeating sounds or repeating stuff like annoy me so much. So I would definitely not want to have a reminder pop up every 5 minutes, even every 30 minutes. Like the second or third time, my brain is going to be like, yeah, goddamn it, close that. So having it as an option would be great. Joe does like it.
Isaias,
every 5 seconds.
Isaias, do you have the same idea with making love with your wife?
That's a good question. But in this case, I think for these sounds, like some people might find it annoying, right? You can turn off the sound, but some people might find the intrusion also annoying. So having those as parameters to your function allows you to be a little bit more flexible. Now, I don't want to add 20 parameters, right? Like 20 different options. But for certain things like that, you see how easy it is to add those types of options into your parameters. And many times they just behave as ternary. You just have a true or false thing, and then you behave with a ternary. If it is true, you do one thing. If it is false, you do the other. Simple as that. And you can do those in one line always, right? So very interesting tooltips, little tips that on how to create this reminder. By the way, are you calling it reminder close or remind close?
I think remind. I don't know what should be called.
I could use remind close. And notice that I press F2 so that it fixes it in the other file.
Cool.
So I don't have to remember. Oh, I don't remember where I used it. Whenever you press F2 to rename a variable, it goes through all the files that are using it right now and updates them in the current environment, by the way. So be careful with that.
And I think we need this enabled by default, I think.
Repeat it? Oh, yeah, sure. You can just say true there.
Yeah, and I can see different ways, and I get your point. Your preferences is.
Yeah.
I'm like you on the sound. That would really annoy me. But I tested it. And I'm like, this little thing in the bottom right corner that it doesn't at all bother me. I was surprised. But also there's the cadence. Is it once every 5 minutes? Like I was just doing it quick so it would test. But I hate later going back and look at my system tray and seeing 8 scripts I got to close out of because I forgot to close out of. So that's why I'm like,
Right,
hey,
you hate that more.
well, and that's my point is there are some things that I launch that are really in the moment. I have a couple things to do, and when I'm done, I just don't remember to exit out of them.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I'm like, hey, this is a way to remind me. Because get insider savings, 25% off courses, scripts, and done-for-you AHK jobs, making premium tools affordable and accessible. Tap into over 466 plus hours of AHK video gold, including fresh clips like this, for any time learning that fits your schedule.